Welcome to this video about the new changes or changes in progress, so to speak, of the editor of the Dragon Gene game engine. So what's going it all about? So far, the editor used for every sub-editor, for every editor module, an own set of panels, which has been coded manually to match all the widgets with all the properties of the objects you can edit, dealing manually with all the undo actions, all that stuff. So it was quite complex, a lot of classes, a lot of duplicated code of stuff which always has been done the same, just with a little bit of changes. So to get a little bit rid of this and allowing for new editors to be created more easily, I've started designing the meta properties system. Now, this meta properties system is only for the editor. Nothing changes on the game engine itself. It still continues to use the existing principles like behavior system and stuff like this. So the meta properties is only to make the editor easier to work with. So what does it look like in general? So of course, it makes everything code-wise cleaner, it makes the design better, stuff like this. You can see this as a user, but for the user, there are also certain changes. So I have now here on the left side the old system, which uses the hand-created layout with everything, and on the right side, the new meta properties system. So the idea really is that you can only define the properties for all the different stuff, and the UI is automatically filled with the necessary widgets to let you edit the values. So far, system which is also known from other editors, but really taking a step further to make it actually useful and not just a complicated list for you to dive into. So what does this mean? Every property you have gets an own row in this property window. And this composes, of course, of the label, so you can find it, and of the widget, which matches the property type you want to edit. Also, you will see that every property has a property menu on the right side, which is this little gear, and this gives access to a common set of actions, which is useful for the particular property. So this has two good things. First, the properties have now widgets which all share the same abilities. They all share the same base abilities, but still different properties can add extra stuff. So I will show them in a moment. So let's take something like this to compare a little bit. So it has been streamlined, and then you also still have lists, but where the previous lists had been, just be able to edit with the menu and had limited functionality, and that all lists had the same functionality. Now the lists share a similar behavior for all which likes. You can duplicate things, remove them, move them up and down, more things, clipboard handling, resetting the default values. So you have a lot of extra stuff which is available for all lists automatically. Especially also sucks like things like duplicating, which has been now streamlined. So you really can use duplicate, copy, and paste for every list which you have. So before you could also in some lists duplicate, but not everywhere. The values below is still in this form listing, but it has a little bit streamlined. So everything is really more lined out with a label and a widget instead of mixed up. And you also see, depending on what kind of value you have, the menu can be a little bit different, adding extra stuff where it is useful. So let's have also a look here. That's one of the examples where this is a little more smaller, and here you just have the default list stuff and you have more possibilities. it is also see that, for example, the curve, which has been here, it is now a bit smaller, which you say, ooh, that's not so nice to edit. But this is compensated. Not only that you can make it larger if you want to, you have also here now an editing dialog, which you can use for every curve. And then you can have it just as large as you need it for editing. So again, more abilities gained. Also, like here, you had no chance to really copy well the curve. It existed in the editor itself, but this has been now taken out to be also available as the copy. So this is the copy of the meta property, while before the widget tried to have its own copy. So this is going to be moved later on, so then you can just copy the entire curve from one property, and then you can also copy it from one edit to another. Then also stuff with rules, the trees by itself, nothing special. This has been also a little bit changed. It has been a little bit streamlined, so the names are here a little bit long, because to make you show the left and the right side, I kept the names which are on the left side, which are too long for the new system. When the left side is going away, the names will be adjusted so they are small enough to have a nice layout. And here you also see that the previously targets have been moved, so it's now put out. So I have now target for the blends, the target for the move, target for the time. They are all available as a direct property instead of put together into a kind of list. So this also makes things easier. The previous list had been rather limited in how you can use it. And the new list is a real set, so it has also the entire abilities of the properties, everything new. In particular, it's now a multi-list, so I can say I take multiple things here. Then you really have also multiple selections that you can delete. And in particular, if you now add new stuff, you see already with the plus and minus sign what you have already in your list. Or when you filter for it, you see also which you have already included to make it a little bit easier. So these are sets, which now also have copy. You can copy all copy selections, paste them, paste, replace, exporting and importing as text. So you have more abilities for such string sets for everything set, for every set automatically. Same also for vertex position sets, which is not going to work here because they are no. So if you can't add anything, there will be no dialog. And with the blend factor, it's the same stuff. You get the list of all the links. And here again, you could select multiples, and you have a multi-selection list here. So one of the things that is also added is the filter, which you also know from other kind of editors. So if I would now write here target, then you would only see the target, or everything is the name. So I would have to say something like more time, then would get also only every property which is matching the name. And this is also more the matching of things names. So you could then simply also say just like MOEM works also because it's just a typical kind of editing you know. So that's pretty much right now that is about the new editor with everything that is put together. So this has been now just one editor which I have started to change, and this will then be also rolled out for all other editors, and in the end we'll then have the property window, which is then shared across all the editors to give you a streamlined editing experience. So I hope you like this little technical insight of what's coming next. And once everything is finished, you will get then a new update with the editor in it. In the meantime, have a nice day. See you.